Hello and welcome everyone to the RedFlex. We're doing something a little bit different today, aren't we? Although we're going to be not multicasting simultaneously, but we will have a special, it's the first Insta only match preview. I think we're going to test the waters with this, which will be following our show immediately. So once you've watched the show,
stay tuned.
Yeah, if you are watching, then you can get onto Insta, and there'll be a live stream with Cass and Usman giving their own match preview for the Newcastle game. It's an interesting game. Obviously, we had a great win on Thursday, Abdul. It's confidence is up. Everyone's talking a good game. Ollie was pleased. There was a very short match preview kind of press conference after he finished off answering the questions about Real Sociedad, obviously because of the short time frame between the two games. Obviously there wasn't a separate match preview today. I did watch that earlier on. Obviously there wasn't much to talk about apart from injury updates to Cavani and Donny van de Beek. He said he was hopeful that they would be fit. Obviously Pogba is out for sure, but going into that game, Abdul, it's looking a little bit better than it was before the Sociedad game. Is this a turning point, or is this just another kind of up and down blip that we're going to have in this?
I think at the moment with United, you're going to have to expect ups and downs. I think Ollie did say that when he actually took the job, it's going to be a lot of ups and downs until we get to the point where we're more consistent. I think that's the only problem. So I don't think anyone is going to be able to actually say for certain what Man United are going to turn up, and then that's the problem. If anyone is saying 100% and know how United are going to play and what United are going to turn up, then I think then maybe they should also play the national lottery that's on tonight as well, because I don't think anyone's going to know.
Agree with that. Obviously, I think we mentioned it, didn't we, in our post-match show, that the fact that Bruno seems to be back in form, 2 goals, great performance. Obviously, there was some indifferent views on the last show about Rashford, but he did get a goal. He did play well for me. So, that's looking better. Obviously, we've got the issue with Martial. I thought Greenwood did okay whilst he was on as well. There wasn't anything he did wrong, I thought. So, there's a lot of positives going into this game, but we can't let this be another West Brom or another Everton type game. We're just desperate for 3 points. Chelsea luckily drew only against Southampton today, so they're 3 points behind, having played a game more. I think we just need to create that gap, don't we, between second and fifth. We have to have a gap of like 6 to 9 points, where we know, even if we have a bit of a blip, we're still going to remain in the top 4. Then we can, if we are wanting to mount some sort of cup competition challenge in the FA Cup or the Europa League, then so be it. But surely, Abdul, Newcastle, I know they are a bit inconsistent, but away from home, they're pretty woeful. It's well documented. I know they've got Callum Wilson, who's in a bit of form, but apart from that, they've got nothing. They've got nothing. I mean, like, where do you think that they're going to pose any threat at all, if any?
I think you've got a history of this, Harris. You actually tend to downplay these other teams. You need to remember, this is the English Premier League. Every team has got a threat. I mean, you mentioned Callum Wilson. I think they've got other threats. I'm not sure if Alan St. Maxim is fully fit. I think he has played in the last couple of games. Also, there's a few other players as well which I feel can cause problems, like Almiron. Although he's quite inconsistent, I think he's quite good on the ball, and he's actually quite a creative player. I know Newcastle haven't had a great season, but I still think that they can be a threat. Just like we thought we're going to kind of walk the park and kind of walk all over West Brom. That didn't happen. Just like how we thought we were going to walk all over Sheffield United. That didn't happen. So it's just what United turn up. If we get the United that turn up against Real Sociedad, then maybe we'll start to create a few more chances. I think that's the problem that we're having at the moment. But just like we mentioned in the kind of match reaction to the Real Sociedad game, is that the way they played, no team is going to play like that against us in the league. So it's going to be a completely different game. We're going to have to kind of churn them out. We're going to have to break them down. We're going to have to kind of match the work rate. We're going to have to go wide. We're going to have to. It's going to be a tough game. If we get an early goal, then it's a different game, because then they can't sit back. for the whole game anyway. So at some point, they're going to have to try to play football. And at that point, that's when we're going to score some more goals, if we can get that early goal. That's the key, I think, for us.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a low block, isn't it? I can't see anything but Newcastle's come in and sitting deep, men behind the ball, usual stuff at Old Trafford. First goal's the key, isn't it? You get the first goal, I think we win the match, for me.
That first goal, if it's an early goal, I think it'll be a very convincing win. It's just when and if we can get that goal and how we get goal, at what time in the game we get the goal.
Agreed. I mean, obviously, there will be some changes. I'm expecting David De Gea to be back. Lindelof, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say, not a fan, but I think he'll be back. Again, I'd love to have Bailly in this game. Callum Wilson, big, strong, physical lad. Bailly's the man you want in that sort of aerial battle for me. So very interesting what Ollie will do, but the fact that Bailly's played and it's a quick turnaround, I think it is going to be Lindelof. I think Shaw will come back in, obviously, and he probably will stick with McFred again, disappointingly for me. And then I think the front three. I mean, if Cavani's fit, I would play Cavani, to be honest, again, because it's going to be a low block. You want to try and get the crosses in. You want to try and apart from just trying to play the quick 1-2s in around the box, which is not going to happen, I don't think, this game, because they'll have so many people behind the ball. You want to have a different option. You want to be able to get the ball in a little bit long. Cavani's movement is excellent. So I think you want to get him on the pitch if he is fit. I mean, for you, is anyone you do want to see or you don't want to see in our lineup come Sunday evening?
I mean, I think Edison Cavani has to start, just because the fact that with the low block, the best way to get around the low block is to kind of bang them in from the sides. If you get in a lot of good crosses, though, it's kind of be random crosses which don't have an intent or have a meaning. You're not aiming for anyone. If you're aiming for Edison Cavani and it's a good cross, then that's when however many people you have in the box, it becomes irrelevant, because that amazing cross will then open up a very good chance for Edison Cavani, and that's what we need to do. Also, I think a lot of teams do tend to play it's a very narrow low block, because they know we've got an issue down the right with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Although the last few games, I have to say, I've been not impressed, but he's done better going forward anyway. He showed more intent, at least. And him running forward does create some extra space for other people to get the ball in that area. So, for example, once Aaron Wan-Bissaka makes that forward run, it frees up that space for Bruno to get into that space and then for him to deliver across. So things like that were going to make a difference. And that's where I see the game being won or lost, because if we try to go through the middle, it's going to be completely jam-packed. And I can't see us breaking any team down at the moment with a lot of players that we've got who are out of form up front. So it'll have to be either some sort of magical run, some sort of magical goal, or some sort of cross, or something from a set piece maybe. But let's see how it goes. It'll be a very interesting game for sure.
Seems there might be another Bruno magic. Obviously, got that great goal against West Brom, wasn't enough. I think Bruno's going to be the key again. I think he's going to have to do something for us to get something out of this game. But it's just back to that same old argument, isn't it? I think this is this kind of week or two is proven again. Against the teams who want to play high line, you want to obviously take it. Be more aggressive on the front foot against us. We seem to put them away, whether it be a Man City or whether it be a Real Sociedad. We've proven that over the last season or two. Low block, I think we've done well up until the Sheffield United game. To be honest, I can't remember us dropping points against anyone outside of the top 6-7. To be fair, so we've done really well, but obviously it's kind of come back to haunt us. Whether it's a combination of Bruno being out of form, being man marked, strikers being out of form, it's just resulted in some really poor results. And obviously, the title's gone, but we need to consolidate second. For me, we need to make sure that it's an improvement from last year. We finished third, then second, so it shows gradual improvement. And then we just concentrate on the cups, as I said. Some sort of silverware would be nice. A cup final would be nice to look forward to at the end of the season. So I think that's what we've got to kind of hold on to this season, isn't it? I mean, I know the Europa League's a long campaign, Abdul, but if you can rest 4 or 5 players at a time, and we can go into the first leg or get a kind draw, I think we can put the tie to bed in the first leg, and then that second game becomes a little bit irrelevant, and we can kind of rest place for that, and then take it into the league game. I know we've got difficult fixtures. We've got Chelsea, haven't we, next? Then Man City. Pogba should be back for the City game, but it's we need some points in the bag just in case. It'd be difficult for. If we get 6 points, Chelsea and City, I'd be amazed. So I think we are going to drop some more points. So this is the reason why this game is so important. So if you look at the next 3 games, Newcastle, Chelsea, City, we are going to drop points. So you need to make sure you get this one in the bag. Chelsea game will be interesting. We've got we're good away from home against Tuchel. We've punished his PSG's team time and time again, so that'll be an interesting pre-match. But yeah, I mean it's a game we have to win. I'm going to put in my prediction. I think we've talked enough about the game. I'm gonna stick my neck out and say 3-1 Manchester United. Bit bold. I'm either stuck between a 1-0 or a 3-1, but I'm going for 3-1.
Interesting, yeah. Just in regards to what you said earlier, it's a must-win game. Absolutely must-win game. But what makes it even more of a bigger game, not because it's Newcastle and they're a big team and it's a big game for that reason, it's because the drop points we've had recently is West Brom and Sheffield United. It's like, these are games we should be winning. That's 5 points we've lost, which would have then created that extra gap that we needed.
Just kept us in the race. Just kept us in the race, in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, to keep us in the race, fair enough. But I think it's more. I think the kind of major concern is we don't want to get involved in the top 4 dogfight, and that's where it's heading. Especially after the Chelsea and Man City games, we'll see where we are. And I've got a feeling, unfortunately, we're going to be in that dogfight. And then once you're in that dogfight, it's very hard to break away again because United are so inconsistent, and other teams who were out of form are now starting to pick up. So this game must win. In regards to the scoreline, it's a difficult one. I think if it's an early goal, I can. As I said earlier, I think it'll be a comfortable win. By comfortable win, I can easily see it being 2-0, 3-0, and just a nice professional performance if we get that early goal. Excuse me. If it's not an early goal and we're just kind of grinding, we're trying to chase the game, we're just trying to throw men forward, then that's when we could lose a goal on the counter-attack. Even throughout the game, I think at any point throughout the game, we can lose a goal on a set piece. And that's the problem that we have. From set pieces, we are not a great team in terms of the way we're set up for some reason. So that's something that needs to be kind of addressed on the training ground. Why is it that we're so bad at set pieces?
It's funny you said that because he was asked that question in the post-match. I think one of the questions about the Newcastle game, and he said it's something we train, it's something we do train on. We do it every
doesn't
every
look
time.
like it. Does not look like it. Like, defensively, there's no way you can see that many goals for a top team to concede that many goals.
Yeah,
it's not on. It's something is going wrong on the actual training fields with the coaching. Something has to be changed. Something needs to be done. But in regards to this game, hopefully it's not going to come to a dodgy set piece goal from Newcastle. I mean, they may well score a goal, but I think we're going to score more than what they do, especially at Old Trafford, and especially with the kind of form they're in. And that 4-0 win for us, I think, is going to help us. Hopefully we can play with a bit more freedom, a bit more creativity, and hopefully just be ruthless. That's the problem. Just with the finishing as well, Harris. The finishing is shocking by some of the players. I mean, let's talk about Martial, let's talk about Rashford. The finishing is abysmal at times. I know you're still in the camp of Marcus Rashford being potentially a world-class player, but his finishing is nowhere near that. His finishing is poor. He needs to, well, over the last 3 months anyway, I think he needs to change that. If we actually put away the amount of fantastic chances we had, there's no way we'd be in this position. We would be very close to Man City if we were doing that. So it's a very long-winded answer, but I said 2 or 3-0. But if it goes to the kind of dogfight where maybe we don't score an early goal or Newcastle get that early goal, I can see us maybe dropping points again.
Agree with that, yeah. I mean, if it's 1-0 to them early on, I think we're going to struggle. If it's 0-0, come 80 minutes again, we could even lose the game. It's just you're just not confident anymore about United at home against these teams.
Defensively, anyway.
Yeah.
First half is always that massive question mark over us.
First half of the season, I was very confident. I know at home, we've always it's been indifferent, but we've scored 17 goals in 2 games. 9-0, 6-2. you know, is that paper in all the cracks? I don't know, but you know, there's still an issue at Old Trafford, isn't there? There's still some sort of issue, even though they played really well against Everton. You know, I think the crowd does come into it. I think we're one of them teams who feed off the crowd, and we just haven't had that. So I think, you know, the way it's going, it doesn't seem as though we're going to get any crowd this season. So it could well be next season now, but it's something we need to address. It is, you know, a home form can't be that bad. You know, if our home form was half decent, we'd be top of the league. We'd be top of the league. Our away form is incredible. We're top of the league.
The first what? How many games? The first 3 games at home.
Yeah.
What was it? How many points did we get? 1. That's ridiculous. I mean, again, we've lost points there. We've lost points just recently as well. I mean, not every team's going to say we've lost points here. We shouldn't have lost points there.
Yeah, but not at home though.
The home games that we had at the start of the season and these 2 last games that we've had as well, we've dropped so many points. Well, these are needless points to drop as well. We could have been very, very close to Man City. And we at that point, Man City may have found it even more difficult to get to where they are because we would have been massively ahead of them. We would have massively ahead. But I mean, we are where we are. We need to win this game for sure. I think the Chelsea Man City games, that's the real acid test for us in regards to, are we in the fight in regards to being top 2, or are we going to go and fall into the dogfight? So that's
to be honest, I know we'll talk more about the City game. By the way, MZ agrees with me 3-1. MZ thinks 3-1. Yeah. So I think he's on my camp there. But away from home, I'm not worried. And also I know Cass was saying, you know, we are going to lose at some point this season. We might not. Apart from, you know, we've got City and Chelsea, and I think the only other game that I'm worried about is to be Tottenham away. But they're the only 3 games, isn't it? If we don't lose them games, then I can't see us losing an away game all season. They're the only 3 games now that potentially we can lose away from home. But my problem is with these games is we've not beaten any of these big boys. It's all draws. So is it what? Is it 2 draws? 2 draws?
I know we're not facing them next, but that goes against what Ole was doing prior to the season. So I'm not sure what's changed and why that's happened, because it was the other way around, wasn't it, last time?
Yeah, I think we discussed this, didn't we, last season? Teams are now, the top boys are playing differently now. If you watch the Liverpool game away, Arsenal, Chelsea, they're all playing a very cautious game now. There's no kind of gung-ho approach. You know, those spaces are not there anymore because they know if they leave that space, they're just going to get absolutely smashed. So it makes it more difficult for us. So, however, you know, City, Chelsea, you'd like to think they're going to play on the front foot.
That's the challenge of a big team. So we had that issue when we were under Sir Alex, when we were dominating leagues. That's the way teams played. So we need to find a way to break them down. Yeah. I mean, look, I know we can talk about this all night, but away from home against the big boys under Sir Alex, we weren't great. You know, I know everyone thinks, we were poor. We were poor in most of these games. We used to lose. Most of the games we were actually set up for a draw, to be honest.
We used to lose, or we used to our passing used to be shocking. I remember when watching the game with you, and they used to
against Arsenal, especially.
Couldn't even pass the ball. Like with the 3 passes, Liverpool or Anfield.
Arsenal and Liverpool away were shocking.
It used to be under Sir Alex. We should just get the goals, or you know, you might have a good half. You know, we might have the odd game where we were good, but you know, there's this misconception that we were like all conquering. We should dominate these big boys away from home. That's far from the truth. You know, we've been more dominant under Van Gaal and under Solskjaer than we ever have been under Sir Alex. But anyway, that's like a different conversation, isn't it, for a different day.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll talk more about that when we do the match preview against Chelsea. But for now, I think we're going to wrap it up. I think we've said what we wanted to say. Just remember, guys, Abdul and Qasim will be on imminently. Purely
Usman and Qasim. I'm not coming on again.
Sorry, Usman and Qasim, yeah. You've done your stint for today, haven't you? You've done your stint.
That's it.
You know, not on a double shift. You're not getting paid enough. You're not getting paid enough for that.
Definitely not.
You're on peanuts, you. But yeah, please you tune in, guys. It's going to be an Insta-only exclusive. I think it's the first one. You know, we're going to test the waters to see how it is. If it's popular, then obviously we'll start doing that a lot more. I know we've got a lot more people kind of on there, so hopefully we'll see how that pans out. But as usual, guys, like, comment, subscribe. You can see the links below. We're on Periscope, we're on Twitch as well. So yeah, please do get us on all your kind of social media outlets. Please do spread the word. As we've said, you know, we're exclusively inclusive, so you know, we do want to get everybody on. I know we've got our resident guests, MZ being one of them, who's commented, and Tarek, who comes on as well from India. But you know, we want to get everybody on. We want to get people on from all parts of the world, all over the globe. So if you do want to obviously be on the show, drop us a message on Insta. Hopefully we can get you on, and we can discuss all things Man United.
Sorry. Also, one last thing I'd like to say: a massive thank you for everyone who's helped us reach 100 subscribers.
Oh, yes,
Although it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's just that triple figures. It does mean a lot to us. It's that first milestone of any time anyone has any sort of YouTube channel. So again, massive thank you from the whole team.
Yeah, I know. I think that was part of why we may be doing this kind of exclusive Insta show, aren't we? Just to celebrate that a little bit as well. 100 YouTube subscribers. So tune in, guys, for that. And as always, we'll be back for the post-match. I think we'll be back probably straight after because it finishes late. So we want to get our thoughts across very early because I know depending on where you live, it will be very late. So we will be on either 5 minutes before the end of the game, hopefully give you the last 5 minutes, or we will be on literally straight after, hopefully celebrating a win, a good performance, and some good goals. But yeah, up until then, guys, take care, and we will